heard a quote recently that has rewired my brain. You can literally wake up one day and decide this is who I am now. I think a lot of us live a big portion of our lives feeling stuck in an identity that does not align with who we are. I don't think it's really important what other people think of you, but what is extremely important is the label that we project onto ourselves. And that label is forged into our minds through repeated actions, kept or broken promises, and how we go about every single day. What does the person you want to be do? How do they act? Because if you act and think like that version of yourself for long enough, you will build it. You become the person you want by showing up and taking action despite feeling like you are not that person yet.
Thank you. Black coffee, tiny bit of vanilla.
Despite my best efforts to shoot quickly, it's already 25 degrees, so I need to get out there and get going. The session is 4 by 1500 meters, just around my 5K pace. It's going to be really uncomfortable, but it will be controlled effort. More running in this pace makes marathon pace feel easier, not only in terms of my perception, but in terms of the systems my body is using while I run at these paces. Think of it as raising your ceiling so the floor gets higher. Faster stuff makes the slower stuff feel more comfortable and makes your engine stronger.
2 kilometer warm up done. Jumping into rep number 1. First rep done, 5:30 for 1500 meters. Rep 2 incoming. Rep 2 done, 5:29. 2 reps to go. Get it. Rep 3 done, 5:30. 1 left. Oh, that was a good session. Tough to hold on to that pace in the last one, but kicked it at the end and made it in time.
Okay, so we're done the 4 by 1500 meter workout, and I want to explain just in a little bit more detail what this workout means and why it's used. So the session consisted of a warm-up and a cool-down, and in between we had 4 rotations of 1500 meter blocks right around my 5K pace, which is about 3:39 per kilometer. This is above my lactate threshold and well above my marathon goal pace. It was good to have a longer repeat where I could really feel that speed that I've been working to build with my speed sessions, but for a longer period than say a 400, 600, or 800 meter repeat. So why does this workout exist in my program? The reason this workout exists is to build comfort at higher speeds and teach our body that we can hold speeds faster than our marathon pace for longer chunks of time. So that when you get to the marathon and you're running that 4-minute pace per kilometer, it feels a lot more manageable. Physiologically, these kind of workouts also help your body learn to manage effort at higher speeds for longer periods of time. We're just teaching our body how to run faster for longer without starting to struggle with the tasks it has to undertake on the inside. Now with this session covered, I thought it would be interesting to show you exactly how the session fits into the bigger picture. Every single session in this entire block has a specific job, whether that be a run, a lift, or a cross-training session. So our build is called Project 170, which translates to a 250 marathon at our race in Chicago in September. Across the top, I wanted to show you how the volume arc works. I incorporated 2 deload weeks and a low week later on. Basically, you start lower, you build gradually, take a week to reset, build gradually, take another week to reset, and then slam the last 5 weeks of really high, intense volume. Phase 1 here is base building, and it's all about building the engine without breaking the body. I was running before starting this block, obviously, but I wasn't running in any sort of organized marathon block, and I was only running maybe 30 to 40 kilometers a week. So I really had to build in a structure that allowed me to get in the groove and get my body used to running miles before really increasing intensity with time. This whole base, the first 8 weeks, consisted of 5 runs, 4 lifts, and 3 cross-training sessions a week. And the running volume in the base phase scales from 35 kilometers in week 1 up to 61 kilometers in week 8. At no point is there a week-over-week period where I scale my mileage by more than 15%. Make sure to avoid injury. The body needs time to load. Your joints and muscles and bones need time to load volume. Rushing into big miles is super tempting and you might feel like you have the aerobic fitness for it. Patience is so key in this part of the block. You'll see here at week 4, that was our first deload. Fitness isn't actually built during the hard weeks. It's built when your body has the time and space to recover and absorb the training load that you've put into it over the past few weeks. We'll do it again in week 8 for the same reason. So phase 2, this peak phase here. One of the big changes that I'm making is I'm reducing my lifting volume from 4 lifts to 3 lifts. This allows me to recover better from my lifts, have more energy left for the longer, harder runs and the longer cross-training sessions. The priority really shifts to great recovery here because there's some hard sessions and we need to make sure we're fresh for the next one. Through this period, we build all the way to 75 kilometers as a peak mileage, plus another 2.5 hours of cross-training, which sort of acts as an extra 20 kilometers. At this point, we're gonna have a lot of work at and above marathon pace, so 4 minutes per kilometer. And the body is no longer just building fitness here, it is learning to race. Then finally, you'll see from week 13 to 15, volume drops pretty sharply. The intensity will stay within the sessions that I do keep. This is where a lot of athletes will panic because they feel like they're losing fitness, but really you're not gonna lose any fitness in this 2-week period as long as your intensity stays up and you stay dialed on your nutrition and sleep. Now, when I program this build and when I program the builds of my run clients, I keep these 5 pillars in mind all the time. Cross-training, strength, recovery, nutrition, and injury prevention. First thing to touch on is cross-training. This is something that I think a lot of athletes overlook when they're training for marathons. You have options to build aerobic fitness. It's not only running that could count as time on feet. It adds opportunity for me to build aerobic fitness, and it also allows me to manage the impact on my joints and muscles. One key here, though, is transferability of the type of cross-training you're doing. The Stairmaster is the most transferable muscularly from running. Erg circuits are a great way to engage the legs, glutes, hips without high impact. Biking is great, swimming is great for aerobic fitness, but you also want to make sure that the muscular component of the exercise is as transferable as possible because you don't want to waste any valuable energy in a marathon block. One last thing, and the most important thing about this entire discussion, is that this particular board is built for me. With my injury history, running experience, my strength experience, my personal preferences all in mind. And that's the point. If you're training for something and you're using a cookie cutter program, using an AI, just make sure to ask, is this really built around me or am I just doing something because someone else is doing it? On this topic, high mileage is everywhere right now. It's super trendy. People love posting about running 100-kilometer or 100-mile weeks. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for you. I know it's not right for me, and that's why I've built out a program that accommodates my needs. You never know if someone's posting about running 100 kilometers and they're running through injury, or if they have 15 years of running history behind them that allows them to build this base year over year, month over month. Do what's right for you and let the results speak for themselves. At the end of the day, there are a million ways to build a good base and build strong running fitness. The best program for you isn't the one with the most miles, isn't the one with the most sessions, isn't the prettiest, perfect Strava graph. It is the one that allows you to stay healthy and reach your goals. So whatever your route of choice looks like, make sure it is yours and yours alone. Second session of the day is a full body lift. A lot of my gym work right now focuses on not only strength and hypertrophy, but also power and injury prevention. So that's going to reflect in the exercise choices today, and I'll chat a little bit about how each one is relevant for a runner specifically and for an athlete. Let's get to it. We're starting with one of my favorite movements right now, trap bar deadlifts. I really use this as an opportunity to build explosiveness and power. I always neglect lower back muscles, so this program I've made sure to put in core, and that encompasses lower back as well. As a runner, there's a lot of trouble spots that people run into can turn into a chronic. For me, it's my hip flexors and my lower back and my shins, so I'm doing everything I can to avoid an injury on this block, and this is one of the important steps. Every time I got another win, I lost another friend. When you came into my life, I swear I never lost again. I would do whatever for you, I would do it all again, yeah. And your words
best times. I will hold it down for you in your worst times. I was running around when you was outside.
Have a great day. Good luck with everything.
What is it? What? You guys are YouTubers?
YouTube and Instagram. He's mostly Instagram.
What's the name there?
That was sick. We're just sitting here working, and these guys are doing a product shoot on their brand they're launching. And we were chatting with her for a bit. She's like 60 years old, launching a skincare brand. And we were just talking about how fucking cool is it that in today's world of technology and connectivity, that at any age you can decide you want to chase your dreams. And I think that's a great way to put a bow on this video. I think you should wake up every day and make every decision assuming that you are going to become the person that you envision in your mind, whether that's chasing a fitness goal, whether it's starting a brand new business. Just take that end goal into account during every decision you make. And I promise you will start seeing yourself become the person that you want to be. The last thought on this topic for me is that everyone's process looks different. Your 5 a.m. might be someone else's 10 p.m. My track session might be someone else's piano practice. It doesn't matter what the goal is. It just matters that your process involves showing up day after day as the person that you strive to become. Just stack these decisions again and again and again until eventually the outcome you want will be inevitable.